Welcome to 40 Days of Questions. I have morning coffee and morning Weetabix. That is all I have to say because I'm quite antisocial in the mornings. Today's question is a real one, but I'm keeping it vague and anonymous because it was a DM. And you don't know if this person was actually planning to break up with somebody, and I don't want to expose that on the internet. So today's question was basically about how to know when you should break up with somebody, especially if you haven't had a fight or there isn't anything like clearly wrong in a Saturday morning soap opera kind of way. I've had some experiences with that for anybody who has been watching the channel for a while. So I've written down 3 points that I think I agree with. Although, like, who knows? They always change and it's always different for every situation. So these are more like pointers. Oh, more Weetabix. More Weetabix required. Okay, so the first point I've written down is you disagree on the fundamentals of a relationship. You can disagree on politics, you can disagree on religion, you can disagree on kinds of cereal that you like to buy in, you can disagree on music, but I think the one thing that like kills the spirit of relationship or is like kind of terminal is when you disagree or you realise you start to disagree on the intrinsic things about relationships. When you're working on a project together, you have to agree on what the project is. Like, you have to agree on what you think a relationship is, what you think love is, how attitudes toward the future should be handled. That's not necessarily like where you want to live and how you want to like spend the future, because sometimes that can kill something. And actually I think because we're all learning about ourselves, it's kind of like unhelpful to think about that, unless when it comes to children. You should probably agree. If somebody doesn't really want children and the other person really does, like, that's hard. Like, when you disagree on the like operational functions of a relationship, not to make it a business or like, you know, but it's like this pact, and if you don't agree or you want different things out of the pact, then you shouldn't be in a pact. The second thing is you're not fascinated by them anymore, which is really sad. But I do think that, like, I think some people are like, oh, I should be learning from my partner all the time. And I think that's kind of hard. Like, you shouldn't have to be learning from them all the time, but you should be fascinated in their opinion. Even when you're friends with somebody casually, like, you're friends with them even casually because you're interested in what they have to say or what they're experiencing. And if you haven't got those really like quite light fundamental kind of interests in each other, and that's been going on for a while, then it might be time to find new people. Because like, what I've definitely looked at partners in the past before and thought is that like, somebody would find this person fascinating. Like, somebody would really like just treat them like a beautiful piece of art or fossil, and they just want to like look after them or learn from them and listen to them, and they'd probably really add something to somebody else's life, but they've not really adding anything. I'm not the most passionate person about this person. Like, you are not my fossil, and it's important, I think, to realise that you might not be the best person for somebody and let them go and find that person. I don't think it's about ticking boxes or, you know, like, you know, this person isn't that bad. It's like, this person has to be like your thing. They're supposed to be the person that you're like, oh, I know that it might not translate for everybody, but like, I'm so into it. And the third one just is like, if you have a gut feeling, I don't advise making like all kinds of life decisions on gut feelings. But I think this is the one case where I'm like, it does actually make sense. I think if you have a gut feeling for a long time, over a long period, in a lot of different scenarios and in a lot of different situations, it's okay to listen to that gut feeling, because relationships are fundamentally feelings. Love is made up of feelings. So if you have a bad feeling about it and you just have this gut, I don't think this is right, I don't think this is going to work, I've got a bad feeling, I don't think there's anything childish about that. I don't think there's anything particularly manic pixie-ish about that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because ultimately I've definitely been right. I've broken up with people on a gut feeling, gotten back together with them, and it hasn't been right, and my gut feeling was right. And that can sometimes be embarrassing or humiliating to explain to other people, because it's not like the breakup story that they want to hear when you're like, you know, talking about stuff or telling your friends. Like, it's not the kind of most sensational. It's quite a confusing breakup story, but it's okay. I think that relationships are this extra thing in your life. Like, you should have like the fundamentals of like being okay in place, and you don't have to have a relationship. It's this beautiful added extra, and if it's not a beautiful added extra, and if it's not something that's helping you with the rest of your life, or they're not supporting you in this fundamental like level, or they're ruining this level of like stability and safety and like normality that they're supposed to be adding to, then that's dangerous, and your gut is telling you to protect that. People always dismiss the gut. Gut power. This is part of a series called 40 Days of Questions. I'm uploading a video every day in Lent, apart from Sundays, because somebody forgot that the 40 Days of Lent does not include Sundays. And apparently there's 47 days between Shrove Tuesday and Easter. Who knew? There's a playlist here. Subscribe to see more, especially if you put that little alarm bell on, then you'll definitely know when I upload. And I'll see you tomorrow. Frog Snug out.